Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Vande Bhakta Priyam Ramam Bhakti Prinatiyam Sadam Same Vasatu Jamhi Hridaye Krupaya Prabhuù. Starting with Shravana Bhakti, now we have reached up to Sakhya Bhakti. In every devotion, we saw there two aspects. One is sadhana roop, one is ramana roop. Those who are the beginners, seekers, for them the Shravana Ityadi, they are like sadhanas. But for the Siddha Purushas, men and women, those who have accomplished that, for them every aspect is like reveling only. This bhakti, which is called Jnana Uttara Bhakti, one is before gaining the knowledge, then it is called sadhana roop. And once that goal is achieved, and still their hearts are filled with the devotion, so even after gaining knowledge, that is called Jnana Uttara. After gaining knowledge also that bhakti is there. Sometimes it is called a sadhan bhakti and prema bhakti. It's prema swarup it is. In sadhana, there is always efforts. Our mind is not stable, keeps on wavering, and our sadhana also starts fits and starts. But the prema bhakti is such that there is nothing other than that. It is just only reveling. Those great devotees have no such kind of problem. What seekers experience. So now we have seen up to Sakhya Bhakti. Now the last one, the climax, that is called AtmaNivedanam. AtmaNivedanam, the meaning is, one meaning is offering oneself to Bhagavan, Nivedanam. This AtmaNivedanam also is realizing our oneness with the paramatma. So, AtmaNivedanam. It has got different implications. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is at one place. To see God means to become his food. Tad annibhavanam tadiksha. What? We become food. See, when the food is in our plate, it is different from me. But when I eat that food, then what happens? It becomes one with me. So when Jiva offers himself or herself to Bhagavan, becomes one with Bhagavan. That is called AtmaNivedanam. Now, how all this happens is by God's grace, but how it happens, something is said by Bhagavan himself also, in the Bhagavad Geeta and other places also. So, we will see how it is. So, now Shloka number 23. bhaktyä-hyananyayä प्रीतः
bhaktyä-hyananyayä प्रीतः
तज्ज्ञानं यच्छति प्रभुः
तज्ज्ञानं यच्छति प्रभुः
येन भक्तो विजानीयात्
येन भक्तो विजानीयात्
देवं स्वात्मतया स्थितं
देवं स्वात्मतया स्थितम्.
The other day also I had mentioned one thing. With our intellect and all that, we cannot know Bhagavan, but we can always love Bhagavan with our heart. And when Bhagavan's heart melts towards that devotee, then Bhagavan himself reveals his nature, and then Atmanivedanam happens. One question is asked, when Bhagavan reveals himself to that bhakta, how that bhakta will recognize Bhagavan? How will he recognize? Oh, in the Narad Bhakti Sutra, the answer is given. Naradji says, Sa kirtyamanaha shigrameva avirbhavati anubhavayati cha bhaktan. When the devotees earnestly, sincerely, genuinely, with all feeling, when they sing his glories and they want to see that Bhagavan, Bhagavan comes. Anubhavayati cha bhaktan, and Bhagavan makes devotees recognize him, realize him. It is like, suppose somebody has not tasted sugar. All other taste person knows what is sour, what is salty, what is spicy, what is pungent and all that. And suppose somebody tells him, there is a thing called sugar, and it is very sweet. What is sweet? Is it like sour? Like sour? No. Is it a combination of all taste? No. Why? I have never tasted it. I will put it in your mouth, on your tongue. But how will I know that this is sweet? The sugar will make you realize what is sweetness. You just put in your mouth. That's all. So here also, that is said here, bhaktyä-hyananyayä, ananyaya bhaktya. Ananya bhakti word is very, very comprehensive word. When the bhakta has got ananya bhakti, some translation I have to give, single pointed bhakti or bhakti with no difference, and so many translations, but we will see. When that bhakta has got ananya bhakti, pritaha, Bhagavan is pleased with that ananya bhakti, and tadjnanam yacchati prabhuù. Bhagavan gives that knowledge to that devotee. Yena bhakto vijänéyäd devam. That knowledge by which the devotee recognizes God, svätmatayä sthitam, who is in his heart as his own self. Oh, that is called knowledge. What is the definition of knowledge here? Knowledge is that by which a devotee recognizes that Bhagavan in his own heart as his own self. That is called knowledge. Bhaktyä-hyananyayä pritaha tadjnanam yacchati prabhuù. Now, what is ananya bhakti? See, ananya means no other. Now, it has got many implications. One by one, we will try to see. One meaning is, Bhagavan alone is my goal of life and not anything else. That is called na anyaha. Other than Bhagavan, I have no goal in my life. Mirabai says, Mere to Giridhar Gopal dusaro no koi. It's one meaning. Now what happens is, we have got different things to achieve, and we make Bhagwan as an instrument. Because when you go to Bhagwan, in the temples and everywhere, what a crowd that is there, A majority of people, they are not going for Bhagwan, that they want Bhagwan, but from Bhagwan they want something. So as long as we want something from Bhagwan, other than Bhagwan, this is called Anya Bhakti only. But at least you are going to God, not the government official. Now see, what is that other thing? We may ask, Bhagwan, remove my trouble. I am very efficient into getting into trouble, but I don't know how to come out of it. So Bhagwan, you get me out of this, or remove the trouble. So another thing is, see, we have got many desires, but we have no ability to fulfill them. Bhagwan has all abilities, but he has no desire. So Bhagwan, you can remove trouble, you yourself don't have trouble, and you don't have desire, but you can fulfill, and we have got plenty. I can give a list also. So if we want the fulfillment of our desire or removal of trouble, so we are asking something other than Bhagwan. So they are called Anya Bhakti. Another meaning. Sometimes we may have the goal, that is Bhagwan, but we think that Bhagwan can be achieved by very different means, by doing japa, tapa, vrata, dana, and I will do a lot of pranayam and asana and yoga, and so many things I will do, and I will tell Bhagwan, I have done so much all these things. If we want something from Bhagwan, then also Anya Bhakti. If we think goal is Bhagwan, but we think by all our efforts and all our sadhana, that does not mean we should not do sadhana. But on the strength of only sadhana, if we think that we can get Bhagwan and reach, then that also is Anya Bhakti only. What is an Ananya? When the bhakta understands that I do sadhana, but it is only by God's grace. So God is the means and God is goal. Both is Bhagwan only. Then they are called Ananya Bhakti. This must be understood. In Ramcharitmanas, about Bharata, it is very beautifully said, what was his vision of life? Sadhana sadhya Ramapada nehu. Love for Rama, lotus feet, that alone is a goal, and it can be achieved with the Ram Premi sadhan and Ram Premi sadhyam, both. Even in one Urdu poetry, it was said, Allah se Allah ka sahara mango. If you want to reach God, seek help from Him only, not from someone else. Japa, tapa, vrata, dana, all that is very wonderful. And if you read the life of many, many devotees, when Bhagwan came to them, they were wondering how that Bhagwan has come, because I have not done enough sadhana, and my heart is not that much filled with so much love also. And so they say, it's only because of God's grace alone. And a typical example is of Shabari. When Bhagwan came to Shabari, Then she was wondering, and she realized it was because of his Guru's promise. Guru had said that Bhagavan will come. Guru ke vachana samujijya bhai. He says, not because of my sadhana or because of me, but Guru. Already tell 2G, remember? God and Guru. It's only by the God's grace, Guru's grace. Because Matanga Rishi had told her, Bhagavan will come. So Bhagavan came to fulfill his words. And of course, Shabri was very great devotee. All the 9 kinds of devotion were there in her. Bhagavan himself certified. So then, this is called ananyata. My goal is Bhagavan. My means also is Bhagavan. By that, his grace alone, this will happen. Another meaning of this ananyata is given in Ramcharitmanas, where Bhagavan Ramchandra is speaking to Hanumanji. That doha is there in Kishkinda Kand, where he says what? So ananya jaake mati asina tarei Hanumant mai sevak sacharachara rupa Swami Bhagavant. This ananyata is wonderful at the practical level. Then when the person understands, I am sevaka of that sarvatma Bhagavan alone. I am not sevaka of anyone else. In the majority cases, people are sevakas, dasas, slaves of money only. Or all this, so many kinds of people and all that, you know. There were many great sevakas of Ravana also. But there's a Swami, one letter. Who is your Swami? When the person says, my master is Bhagavan and I am his sevak only. And that's called ananyata. So, bhaktyä-hyananyayä prétas-tajjïänaà tad jnanam yacchati prabhuù. I mentioned to you, this is what is said in the Bhagavad Gita. Now you may ask where it is said. I say it is in the 10th chapter Bhagavan has said. Those who are my devotees, ever mind is in me only, tesham satat yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. So those who worship me with love, I give them knowledge. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamu payanti. I give them that knowledge by which they come to me. And the next shloka is most beautiful. You know what he says? Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavastha jnanadipena bhasvata. Bhagavan feels so much love and compassion for the devotees, that how my devotee will be fulfilled, his life will be fulfilled. And because moved by that compassion, Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, I light the lamp of knowledge in their heart, which dispels all darkness. That gave me one idea one time. We celebrate Deepavali, no? And what we do? So lamps are there, wick there, and oil and all that, and we light the lamp. So we are celebrating Deepavali. Sometimes it is said, that day is Deepavali when the great saint comes to your house. But the most beautiful Diwali is when Bhagavan lights the lamp of knowledge in our heart. Can there be any better Diwali? Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavastaha. jnanadipena. So now he says, bhaktyä-hyananyayä prétas tajjïänam yacchati prabhuù. When Bhagavan gives this knowledge, it's very different, you know. How much you will get knowledge from reading. And, huh? All the libraries are there and full of that. How many you will read? See, through all these books and through all that, we may come to know something about Bhagavan, but not Bhagavan. Knowing about something is one thing, and knowing the thing itself is something different. And that only when Bhagavan tells. So janahi jahi dehu janaye, janat tumhi hoi jaye. Saint Ramcharitmahi said, that person comes to recognize Bhagavan, whom Bhagavan reveals himself, and when that knowledge takes place, becomes one with that Bhagavan. Yena, jnanena, that knowledge by which that bhakta recognizes that Bhagavan in his own heart, as his own self. Now, a little more about Ananya Bhakti. You all have, if I start, you will also chant, I know. Tvameva mata, bolo, pita, tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha sakha, tvameva vidya, dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, tvameva sarvam mama deva. This is a very famous shloka. Bhagavan, at the address of Bhagavan, tvameva mata, the pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha sakha, tvameva, my mother, father, friend, sakha, wealth and everything, only you are tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Similarly, a very beautiful shloka in Ramraksha Stotram. We say, Mata Ramo, Matpita Ramachandraha, Swami Ramo, Matsakha Ramachandraha, Sarvaswame, Ramachandro Dayalu. 3 times say, Nanyam Jane, Naiva Jane, Na Jane. 3 times emphatically that. I don't admit and say anyone. Mata Ramaha, Pita Rama, Ramachandro Dayalu. That Bhagavan is Mata Pita. Mata Mat Pita Rama, Swami Ramaha, Matsakha Ramachandraha, Sarvaswame. Now what happened? Someone read this shloka, Mata Ramo, Mat Pita Ramachandra. When his mother came, you are not my mother. Only Rama is my mother. Oh, father, you are not my father. Is it the called understanding? No. When we say Mata Ramo Mat Pita, let me understand that Bhagavan Rama alone is appearing to you as your mother, as your father, as your Sakha Swami. Bhagavan only has taken all this form. Now here, see, as long as we look at our mother, father and all that, and you serve them, it is called the fulfillment of our duties. But when we recognize them as Bhagavan and then serve them, then that becomes bhakti. Otherwise, kartavya purti. Matru devo bhava, that is said. Ananyata then. Naiva jane, na jane. I don't know anyone else. Ananyata. Now, actually that feeling that is there, we can repeat so many shlokas and quotations and all that. Very good, because we have to know that. But the heart must be filled with that feeling also, you know. We should feel that way actually. That's called Ananya Bhakti. When mother, father, brother, sister, Swami, Sakha, wealth, everything is for me Bhagavan only. Not that we hate anything or anything, but Bhagavan alone is in all these forms, recognizing in everything that Bhagavan is present. We call Ananya Bhakti. Slowly, slowly, when it grows, then Bhagavan reveals his nature. Bhagavan, in Bhagavan's, there is no such kind of rule that this person had done so much sadhana, therefore I have to bless him in this way. Nothing doing like that. We should go on doing. But also know that the result will be there only by Bhagavan's grace. That alone, that is really counts only. Bhaktyä-hyananyayä prétas-tajjïänaà yacchati prabhuù yena bhakto vijänéyäd devaà svätmatayä sthitam. This is called AtmaNivedanam Bhakti. So therefore, what we have to do is, we must do what we have to do. We all the time think, what, Bhagavan, when are you going to do? And Bhagavan said, you do first your job. I know my job, how to do, when to do, and all that. Do that. Achha, all right, all right. एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे।
राम कृष्ण वासुदेव नारायण भजो रे,
राम कृष्ण वासुदेव नारायण भजो रे,
राम कृष्ण वासुदेव नारायण भजो रे,
राम कृष्ण वासुदेव नारायण भजो रे।
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे।
हरि हरि नाम तेरे सब दुख हरत है,
हरि हरि नाम तेरे सब सुख हरत है,
हरि हरि नाम तेरे सब दुख हरत है,
हरि हरि नाम तेरे सब दुख हरत है।
राम कृष्ण नाम से तू सुख में रमत है,
राम कृष्ण नाम तेरे सुख में रमत है,
राम कृष्ण नाम से तू सुख में रमत है,
राम कृष्ण नाम तेरे सुख में रमत है।
एक बार 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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
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 हरि नाम जपो रे,
नाम जपो रे,
कृष्ण नाम जपो रे,
नाम जपो रे,
राम नाम जपो रे,
नाम जपो रे,
गुरु नाम जपो रे,
गुरु नाम जपो रे।
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय,
राधावर कृष्णचंद्र की
जय,
श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
जय।
ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।